And we're live. Welcome to the 30th sprint review call for the Common Stack. Man, and we are definitely going to get the ball rolling. Let's just, although Ivy will talk more about that later, let's just dive right into it. Let me share my screen. So this is a pretty huge week for the Common Stack. It started off huge sprint. It started off mostly with collaborative economics. All of our effort really put into the final param debates. We had countless fireside chats and parameter debates to the point where it's like, do we have to talk about these parameters anymore? It's like, we get it. But it was very enlightening. I feel like we had incredible attendance. And in the end, after 82 people voted out of 270-ish, we ended up with Goldilocks as the final parameter set. So we are advancing token engineering with this meme, it seems, for the token engineering commons. It's a very cool, it's a very interesting parameter set. It has a 26-week token freeze, so people's tokens will be unlocked. Will start to unlock. The Hatchers tokens will start to unlock in mid-July, and the token thaw will last a year. The opening price will be 1 wrapped X DAI. We'll have a really large commons entry tribute, which will end up sending lots of money to the common pool at launch. And now what we have to do is figure out exactly how to tweak it after people rage quit. So one of the things we discovered this sprint was that we didn't know exactly, we knew this would have to happen to some extent, but we don't have the exact numbers for how much wrapped X DAI and how many tokens will actually be into the bonding curve. So the last thing the parameters working group has to do is just make sure that we can get the spirit of this proposal into the final actual deployment, because we just can't get it exact. Other than that, other big news, this is the first of the new year. So budget report time. We have actually run out of money in the association. The trusted seed is out of money. So we are going to have to stop paying people. Unfortunately, the trusted seed has run out of cash, but luckily we have a backup plan, and that is the Common Stack DAO. The Common Stack DAO was very lucky enough, has funding to cover most of the budget until November. But if there's a time to pay dues and encourage membership dues, Trusted Seed, help us out. We're out of money. So yeah, oh well. But luckily, the Common Stack DAO has a much more flexible legal situation and is able to receive things like airdrops. Actually, the Giveth airdrop was huge this month for the Common Stack. More than covered the last month's salaries, and will and with the insane mining opportunities that are here. Let's see. It's this is, oh, I somehow got stuck in Taurus, but there's insane mining rewards that the Common Stack DAO is actually taking advantage of. So so that's all good, and we'll probably be able to still make it for a while. The other stuff is actually, I'm lucky enough to be here with Sem, and Sem, I don't know if you want to come over and present. So the common swarm work that we've been doing, in the end, we completed the task. We actually started launching the commons. So I don't know if you want to talk about the testing that you were doing the last 2 weeks and everything.
Yeah, maybe the things that have changed. Hello, everyone. Well, in relation to the initial plan, there have been some changes in order to adjust the contracts to the Commons dashboard. So basically, we are moving the funds for the initial buy aside to another vault that is not the reserve or the common pool. So these do not mess up with the parameters. This is why you have these 2 extra actions in the vote. It is granting permissions to transfer permissions from funds from the redeemable pool.
Here, let me give a little context.
Yeah.
So the Hatch DAO has all of the money the TEC raised, the $1.5 million in it. And so this is the vote to move it to the new gardens.
Yeah.
And we have the 3 pots of money. We have the Hatch, the initial buy, and then we have the bonding curves, the reserve, and the conviction voting's common pool. And so this vote is making that magic happen.
Yeah, but basically it was prepared for doing just the migration tools, migrate all wrap text type, funds to blah, blah, blah. But because we had a discrepancy between the 2 models, the commons tribute, which is 69%, we're taking into account that the initial buy was already set apart. So this is what we are doing here. We are setting apart these 250. I'm sorry, my my numbers in English are not so good yet. 250K. We set it apart, and then it is what we use in order to do the initial buy. So yeah, and there will be some adjustments based on the amount of rage quits that we still don't have them clear until we know how much many rage quitting. We have been discussing. The idea is to keep a minimum price of a minimum initial price of $1. What else is important? The reserve ratio we will try to keep as it is, because we think that it's an important parameter, and also the community have said so. So we will be playing maybe with the initial buy, maybe with the moving funds around the different places. So probably what is going to change a little bit, not so much, but a little bit, is the commons tribute. Yeah, I think that this is the update. It's going to be one week, and the other problem that we have that we didn't take into account is that conviction voting is open, but people cannot create proposals because they don't have theses to stake, to deposit in as collateral. So
yeah, oops.
Yeah.
We were like, oh yeah, actually conviction voting is going to open a week before the bonding curve does. Oh no, actually it won't, because no one can make proposals. People can vote on proposals, and there's money in the pool to be spent, but no one has tokens to actually create a proposal. So, and that's kind of an interesting thing about the Commons. If you want to actually create a proposal in the Commons, you're going to have to buy TEC tokens at launch, pay the entry tribute to fund the Commons, and then request the funds. So right away, this is all making sense. The high entry tribute and the push to get the augmented bonding curve, creating residual income for the Commons. It's going to be really cool. But the big win here is, look, here's the gardens front end, and boom, we have the TE Commons. It's there. It doesn't have any money yet. It's just an empty shell of something that can be and will be something great when this vote goes through. So we did it, and we're actually going to have a exit common swarm call today. We're going to pop some champagne and celebrate 1.5 years of work that got us to this place. So yeah, with that, I'll pass it to you, Tam, to talk about more about this sprint. Bye, guys.
Cool. Bye, Sam. Thanks for joining us. So first and foremost, happy 2022. This is our first review of the new year, and we're glad you're still with us. New year, new theme. I'm going to pass to Ivy to introduce the new theme that we're working with for sprint names for 2022.
Thanks, Tam. All right, let me just share my screen. All right, so yeah, new year, new sprint theme. So last year we named our sprints with agricultural terms and concepts, which I think fit the common stack the best. So our journey started as seeds, and we've grown so much and had been cross-pollinating over the past year. And so this year we want to try something new and something fun. So our sprint name will be around sports and sport phrases and sport concepts. So and I can think of a better name than get the ball rolling for our first sprint this year. So yeah, get the ball rolling. It means to make something begin or happen. So this term is believed to have come from the sport croquet, which first came to existence in the mid 1800s. So in croquet, the person who starts and hits the ball first actually has the advantage of winning the game before the other player even has their turn. So yeah, this sprint 30 was all about our new endeavors and making new things happen. So stay tuned in this sprint review call to find out the new great things that happened this sprint. So I pass it back to you, Tim.
Cool. I mean, there's so many things I love about the sprint name, like team sports and playing games. There's so much fun areas to go into. And that first mover advantage applies not just to cricket or croquet. It's like first mover advantage is a real thing in many different areas. Okay, so have we got the ball rolling? So all hatchers in the TEC are trusted seed members. So 82 members of the trusted seed participated in getting informed, learning about the parameters, and voting for the final Commons upgrade parameters. So it's pretty extraordinary. And as Griffin Sem just explained, the Gardens is up and on its way to being a full Commons this month. So congratulations to us at the Commons Stack. You know, we're at the verge of having the first in the wild deployment of the cultural and technical builds we've spent the last year and a half, 2 years, more for some of us, years building. So this is the fruit of so much labor. And I think it's not possible to overstate that. And so why is it important? You know, we've been talking about collaborative economics and what that means. And it really means that the community can understand the intricacies, trade-offs, and consequences of monetary and fiscal policy. Economic policy can be determined by the community that's going to be participating in that economy. And this is the first mover advantage that we're playing since we're the first to do it, or the TEC is the first to do it. Speaking of the TEC, I have some news from the TEC. It's hard to actually cover everything, so just some highlights. The best way to get information is jump on the Discord and join the community call on Thursday evenings at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. CET. Sorry, 8 p.m. CET. So let's talk a little bit about the stewards we're talking about this week. So there's a stewards council, and this week we really talked about how much does culture matter in the TEC. The TEC's cultural build is the design pattern created by Common Stack, and we really kicked the tires on it. You know, open space to have criticism and concerns, and for people in the community to voice the things that they didn't like as much about the culture, for us to hear multiple perspectives from different people. And of course, there was a lot of sharing the impact, the personal impact that it had for a lot of people who felt, there's a lot of notes in here, people who felt like it was, you know, it was great for them, it was very inclusive. And then some things that we could think about how we can even improve, improve in ways to make people's concerns and criticisms somewhat mitigated. Communitas also hosts a weekly chill out session for everyone. So Communitas is focused on community management and community building. And the weekly chill out session happens every Friday, 6 p.m. CET. It's called The Lounge, and it's a great place for people to come just talk with each other. And if you want to talk to somebody about token engineering or commons, it's a great place where people have shared interests and you could just have a conversation about whatever. I want to share that the Omega Working Group has 2 proposals on the forum. one for the Consilience Library and one for TE Ethical Principles. So the goal of the Consilience Library is to prepare a community-run library that shows diverse perspectives about the transdisciplinary field of token engineering. It should be quite a fascinating project, and having a knowledge library in token engineering is something that I think many different people, many different organizations have started to think about because it's so important to advancing token engineering. And they also, the Omega Working Group also shared their proposal for TE Ethical Principles. And really, it's just about how to incorporate different perspectives into this nascent field. Different worldviews, dynamic landscapes, social engineering. If either of these sound up your alley, you can join the Omega Working Group or hop on the forum and share and get in contact with the stewards and the contributors there. So TEC Labs is another one of the working groups in the TEC. It's doing some really cool Vanguard token engineering things. They do a lot of DAO to DAO model workshops now and have a weekly lab where Metaverde is helping a group learn Solidity together. The TEC proposal, the TEC Labs proposal is dogfooding the proposal inverter, which is an initiative between the TEC, Prime DAO, Longtail Financial, maybe Block Science too, but a lot of different organizations have gotten together to try to, yes, Block Science too, to try to figure out how, specifically this is one proposal that is submitted once and requests funds from multiple different organizations. So sort of share the responsibility for good projects to move forward in this space and to get funding in this space. And that's it for me today. I'm very excited to pass to Livia right now.
Thanks, Tim. Let me share my screen. Yeah, this week felt quite emotional, almost like seeing all of the progress that we have done in this 1.5 years and just what took us to this place of making a collaborative decision about an economy that's something so big and impactful, not only for us, but I think for the DAO space in general, just understanding how it's possible to make such decisions with so much engagement, participation. And we had 82 voters. So this is a really huge number. This is around 30% of all TCH token holders. So, and this also is impressive because it was quite a hard vote to be informed about. And I think making this happen really showed how the structure of the TEC is very robust to make this happen. So it was not only this vote coming up and then people coming and picking one choice, but it was the work of the params to make the dashboard so informative, the work of all the working groups really to bring the hatchers together, to create debates, to create a voter pamphlet that the voter pamphlet that was so informative, had everything everyone needed to know about all the proposals that were up for voting and how to decide on them, what were the parameters that mattered the most, and the debates really supporting that. So this was really, really an exceptional collaborative work from all of us. And there was 2 other votes that passed together with the Commons upgrade runoff that were, how should we adjust the ABC to deal with the unknown presented by rage quitting? And the decision was that devs just do the best you can. But I think it was really great to have this being a vote, even though the devs will end up making the decision. And Sam already talked a little bit about the decisions that are being made. But just to inform, like, what does this mean? How does this impact the community? And yeah, we had a great turnout on that proposal too. And when should the vesting period start? So this was when ABC opens was a winner. So the vesting period in the Goldilocks proposal will start when the ABC opens. And yeah, that was it for the Commons upgrade proposals. And I also wanted to share about the Governauts Reward System research group. So we're entering phase 3 now. We're in a little bit in phase 3 that Sean and I are designing. So we created this program that has 7 weeks, and each week we're introducing a new concept and working with the participants to have deliverables for each one of these parts. So we were getting the hypothesis that they came up with in part 1 and what they wanted to improve in the systems to actually create a new system from modeling and using CAD. So we were thinking how to make this modeling experience like a smooth transition. So the first part is just building the system from an intuitive understanding, then refining it to become a stock and flow diagram. That's the part we are in now. Then introducing CAD, then after bringing Loopy to play around with the system that they created intuitively, then having a math specification, and then going deeper into CAD and ending with a what if matrix to test all the hypotheses. And then this looks more or less like this. This is a very cool example that Sean made based on insulin model iterations. So he used the human body as a system and then just created an example for all of the points that I just talked about. So this is a stock and flow diagram, and then goes to the Loopy, here more stock and flow, and then these are actual CAD simulations and the math specification, and then it ends with a what if matrix. So this is what we're expecting to have from all the participants. And yeah, it's been very interesting, and the TEC is one of the use cases. So we're having a lot of really cool insights from there. And with that, I will pass to Christopher.
Thanks. Thanks, Libby. I'll share screen. So this last sprint, I've been working mostly with the TEC reward system upgrade and the Trusted Seed dashboard. And in parallel with the Commons upgrade, is the work with the reward system upgrade ongoing, where the main component is as you know, the praise system, because after the Commons upgrade, we of course want to have a really functioning and well-oiled machinery and system around rewards. So the rewards, the praise system is mostly done. I'd say it's in its MVP form. So it's currently running. This is on my local machine now, but it accepts. We have fed it with praise information, and me being a quantifier in this case can go into a praise period, and I can do some quantifications. I can mark praise as dismissed, and I can mark them as duplicates. And overall, this system is reaching a level where we will be able to try it out. And that is the thing that is next on the agenda for the reward systems upgrade, is that we are doing the trial quant. So the purpose with the trial quantification is to try out the new system, to identify any bugs, but not only try out the praise system, but also trying out the routines around the praise system. So the whole process of doing the quantification, doing the post-analysis session where the quantifiers can look over the results and do an analysis and correct any mistakes. And also trying out the work of the reward board that is the unit sort of responsible for managing the system and in the end paying out the rewards. And Mitch has done a great work of rounding up and recruiting 30 quantifiers. So this is going to be great fun, and we're planning to do this quantifier session by the end of next week. And I think, so I don't think we need any more quantifiers now, actually. I was planning to do this as a recruitment call, but I think we're good for now. But in the future, the TEC will definitely need more quantifiers. One of the smaller components of the reward system upgrade is the meeting tracker bot, and Vivavi has had seen some great traction there. So he hopes to have a new meeting tracker bot finished by maybe the end of next week or close to that. That will allow us to automatically track all the meetings happening on Discord and feed that straight into SourceCred, which actually would make the praise data much better, because it becomes less noisy with this sort of mundane information about who attends which meeting. The second big thing is then the Trusted Seed dashboard. The Trusted Seed dashboard has been moving a little bit slower over the Christmas and over the holidays, but now we're back to work. So the current status of the Trusted Seed dashboard is that Rotary is working on detailed designs and doing Figma prototypes for the new dashboard, and we are and Raid Guild will be doing the development, and they have found developers, and we are currently talking about the roadmap and how to move forward with that. And I think that was what I had to talk about today. So I was going to pass it to Max, but he's not here, is he? So then I guess I'll pass it to Maria, to Myfer.
Thank you, Christopher. Well, it's Maria, but also Gina is here, so we will be back to back. Great. So I don't have much to share. We had a lot of work, but it was like tiny things to work, tiny tasks, and a lot of reach out to members. But I have a new date for the TS, for the Trusted Seed Member Spotlight call. It would be January 26th, and we already have a guest, a participant. We will be revealing that later when we have more information on the showcase. But that's awesome, because January 26th we will be on Discord on the community hall channel to post the presentation. And I have the form for the feedback is done. But we will be sharing the feedback form on the next newsletter. So be aware of it, because you will be receiving your newsletter, and you can have a chance to share with us some feedback, and so we can work on improvement to the community, and maybe the next Commons. A lot to work on, and to deploy more exciting things for engagement with our community. So I'll pass it to Gina.
Hey. Yeah, thank you, Maria. So yes, actually we are together because we are working on our spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet magic is still in progress. Right now, we expect to improve our database and the token accounting. So that would be something to use. I mean, it would be easier for us to do our job, our current job. And well, since the start of this sprint, we have had 17 applications, but no, so applications, but not activations. So please, this is your opportunity to check out your mailboxes, to activate, to claim your swag, to be part of this amazing community of 334 members. And well, with that, I pass it to Tiago.
Thank you, Gina. So good to be here. I'll share my screen very briefly. just to show the Miro board Maria and I have been building for the Regen partnership. Yeah, so a lot of things we are going to build along with Regen Foundation next week. And also that I have been researching about the Regen white paper and what we have to understand before we dive in and make it deeper, the partnership, and improve it to build a big partnership, big project. And that's it. Thank you so much, and I'll pass it to them. Or Griff.
I think it goes to Ivy now.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I thought I was the last one.
No worries. Thanks, Tam and Tiago. Let me just share my screen. All right. So in comms, since we love having themes at Common Stack, we started having a theme for our Twitter content. So this month, for the month of January, we decided to focus on research. So to kick off our research month, so we posted our first ever Trusted Seed Spotlight for this year, and our very special guest is Dr. Michael Zargam. So you can find it in our YouTube channel. In this video, he explains how he applies his background in robotics engineering to the crypto economics field, and he also shares a bit of information about his personal background. And then also in research, we also shared this research paper from Kelsey. So in this paper, she talks about how the algorithmic process affects or creates or can be a threat to DAOs, and this algorithmic process can also include those reputation mechanisms like trust score, cred, and even praise. So if you're interested around this topic, so we posted a tweet about it, and you can find the link to this research paper in our Twitter page as well. And the other thing that another huge thing that happened in the past sprint for in comms, since we, as I said, we love themes, so we had our first themed AMA for this year. So GIVeconomy. So we invited the Give team to our January AMA to explain to our Trusted Seed members how they can participate in GIVeconomy. So yeah, it's also available. The recording of this AMA is also available in our YouTube channel. So yeah, you can watch it here. And I think that's all from me. I can pass it to Griff now.
Thank you so much, Ivy. Wow, there's so much going on this sprint. And as usual, you know, it's not just us. We get to share the camera and get all the cred, but it's a huge community out there. So I'll just start rattling off. Praise Mitch, Lauren, Chewy, Wonka, Nugget, Nate for all the great work representing parameters during the debates. Lots of interesting discussions because of that. Nate for leading the effort on the voters pamphlet. Praise Pedro, Vitor, Fabio, Mitch, Nugget, and Lauren for polishing off the params working group and getting that dashboard perfect so that we could design all of this epic work. And major praise to Sem, Paulo, and Nugget for their incredible patience testing and painstakingly reviewing all the scripts to pull off a very complicated first Commons deployment, but doing it in a way that it's repeatable so we can make it easy for other people to deploy Commons later. Also praise Shebnem, Mount Manu, Letty, Mert, and the other contributors of Omega that made the first proposal to the TE Commons to help us build an ethical foundation for token engineering. Also praise YGG for pushing the first proposal to the TE Commons that creates a new token engineering primitive for DAO to DAO work. Praise Edu, Wonka for hosting the weekly chill out in the TEC lounge. So if you want to build community. It's happening today, although maybe not today when you're watching this. But yeah, and then praise Angela, Heater, Peter, and MS for organizing the first joint monthly TE Academy and TEC Introduction to TE. So that'll be a lot of TE going on. That'll be fun. Praise Wonka and Zepti for supporting the Common Swarm and making proposals on Snapshot. Praise YGG for all the great work pushing forward the homework and review, was it rewards research group with Livia. Praise James Wah, Angela, Eugene, Renzo, and all the other great governauts that are pushing forward all the governauts research work. Praise ViViV, Nebs, Nuggin, MS, YGG, Octopus, Mitch, and Mateo for all the work going into the reward system. Praise to the 30 people who signed up to do the trial quant and to beta test this reward system. That's huge, an amazing turnout. Praise Rodri for the awesome design work on the Trusted Seed dashboard. And praise the Raid Guild for specking out the work around the Trusted Seed dashboard and being willing to volunteer their time to push this forward. Praise Mercedes for quantifying the last praise quant for hours and hours to get everybody C-Stack tokens. Praise Jess and the Regen team for coordinating around the Regen partnership. Praise Z for jumping into the Trusted Seed spotlight and getting vulnerable. It's a great video. You want to watch it. Praise Jess for hosting the incredible TS spotlight with Z, of course. Praise Kelsey for all her great research work. Praise Sam, Lauren, Ashley, and Mitch for sharing their time in the GIVeconomy AMA and answering all of our questions. And praise Rodri for the awesome GIVeconomy AMA graphics. It's a really cool little Give coins dropping around the common stack seed. Super cool graphics. Rodri's an amazing designer, helping us out so much. And praise you for watching this whole video. Wow, what are you doing? Don't you have better things to do? No, I'm just kidding. I really appreciate that you care so much about building the world that the Common Stack wants to build. So thank you so much, and we'll see you around in 2 weeks. Bye, everyone.